Womanjika, Kuzazangpo, Timcho, Salamat Pagyabakaba, Sana Sante Bawana, Talofa, G'day, how are you? Question: what's the correlation between the 1983 film MASH, Goodbye, Farewell, Amen, and the death of Queen Elizabeth II and King Charles III being, being the King of England and the Commonwealth? What's the correlation? Well, if you look into the film, the timing of the film, MASH, Goodbye, Farewell, Amen, and when it was screened on television. Now this is talking about the environment, it's a major link, okay? The water supply in certain regions of America when that MASH film was screened, the water supply, the water usage rose, so there was less water being used just before the screening, and the water supply dropped 8 times, actually 9 times. There was 8 commercial breaks, and what was happening was people didn't use the toilet before the start of the film, and during every commercial break the viewers watching the film Goodbye, Farewell, Amen went to their kitchen or flushed the toilets because they were hooked on the TV screens, and the water supply dropped significantly during the 8 ad breaks and after the end of the film, between the film and the news, the national news afterwards. Now, a correlation between that and QE2 dying is going to be a massive correlation. And it's not just water supply, but I would say paper products. Just imagine how many people are going to buy the daily newspaper or the magazines in the following month or months. You know, all these female, not necessarily female, but it's pointed in that direction. All of the newspaper articles about the Queen. People are going to be buying newspapers and magazines even as a tribute and keeping them as a souvenir. That's going to be a massive peak or spike in paper production use. Even with regards to countries changing their currency, here in Australia we've got the Queen's head on coins, and on the $5 note, Australian $5 note, Queen's head. Imagine all of the effort and production. I mean, fair enough, employment will rise, but what I'm talking about is the environment and sustainability and the actual degradation further of our environment, whether it's plastics or papers, currency being changed, newspapers being brought out. All of these royal institutes with the name royal at the head of their title, like in Australia we have, for example, or even whether it's the Royal Australian Air Force, the Royal Automotive Club of Victoria, etc., etc. They all have the picture of the Queen up on their walls. That's going to have to be changed now to King Charles III. Now, I'm purely showing you or telling you that, and I aren't blaming anyone here, it's human nature. But we have to be aware of impacts like a death, or the impacts of like a TV show like MASH, which have major influence upon our society with regards to sustainability, whether it's water or paper products or photographs or currency. Okay, all of these things, whether it's a picture of King Charles III or currency being changed or new coins minted or souvenirs or legislation changes, and even the internet and the amount of data over the internet, and communications companies, they're going to have a massive spike. They're going to get massive revenue coming in purely because of one person's death. So I just want you to have a think. And I aren't saying it's right or wrong, it's purely an observation. There's going to be a massive, here comes some people, they're going to wonder why I'm talking to a mobile phone, bushwalkers. So there's going to be a massive use of items like paper products and printed materials. So yeah, just take note, be observant, and just take into account how, yes, she was a major influence on the world, especially for the Commonwealth, but just watch in the future weeks and months and analyse data, do your own research, look at internet peaks, look at peaks of paper production or paper products, or even telecommunications, and have a look at the actual spikes and peaks and troughs of products which have been influenced by one person's death. I think it's quite fascinating. And as an overall picture, we have to be aware of spikes like this, okay? Whether it's World War III that's just started and billions of dollars being derailed or altered towards Ukraine for arms by the American government, okay? It's been diverted. So just be aware, make a conscious effort that whether it's a war or whether it's a person's death or whether it's a screening of like a movie, the impact upon the environment, let alone the impact upon people. Okay, there'll be a lot of people celebrating her death, okay, as well as mourning her death. It's just human nature. Everyone is different. Everyone's an individual. All I'm saying is look into it, observe, okay, and be curious, because it is curious. It's fascinating. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. This will probably take this 10-minute will probably take me 3 hours to upload because of the circumstances of the data usage today. I found out that the Queen had died. I don't fall asleep till like 3 a.m. It's just the way I am. But I found out that the Queen had passed on at about 4 a.m. Australian time. But today, so yeah, just be aware, be observant, and in one way be disgusted you know, of how much will be used, or money diverted, or money borrowed, or paper products used, or currency having to be changed, and manufacturing processes, or legislation processes, or flags being altered, or whatever. You know, a lot of government departments might, you know, they're going to have to change certain flags as well. That's even more money. You know, cotton, the actual flags, whether they're made out of cotton or polyester cotton or whatever, there'll be a massive spike in flag production as well. Okay, so just be aware of it. It's fascinating. But there will be a major spike in certain products or services due to the Queen's death, just like there was with the airing of the MASH film in 1983, Goodbye, Farewell, Amen, and the peaks and troughs of water usage back then. So yeah, food for thought. All right, you be good, you be safe, and I'll talk to you boys and girls later. See ya.